Let's make a quick revision for the upcoming quiz. So I have prepared some questions. I hope it will help you. Now the first question is, for the complex numbers 10 minus I times 10 plus I, how will be? So we know the rule that I times I is equal to I squared, which is -1. Also we know another rule, which is A minus BI times A plus BI equals directly A squared plus B squared. So what am I going to do? By using both ways, I want to solve this question. So let's start the solution. If I distribute this one, 10 times 10 will be 100, and 10 times I will be 10I, and then negative I times 10 will be negative 10I, and negative I times I, negative I squared. And then it's clear that here positive 10I and negative 10I will cancel out each other. So there will be just 10 minus I squared. But we know that I squared is equal to -1. So instead of I squared, if we put the -1, result will be 10 minus -1, which will be 10 plus 1, which will be 11. So the second way, if we use directly application of this rule, A minus BI plus A plus BI, here B is 1, so 10 minus 1 times I times 10 plus 1 times I. If we say here A is 10 and B is 1, so directly rule says A squared plus B squared, which means 10 squared plus 1 squared, which will be, by the way, here it is not 10, it is 100. So I have to say that 100, 100, 100, and 101. So 100 squared, 10 squared, which is 100, plus 1, which is 101. So as you see, two results are almost same. Now let's go for the second question. How many roots does the given equation have? To solve this kind of question, we have to know that delta, which is discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. So if the delta is less than 0, no real roots, but we have two complex roots. And if delta is equal to 0, we have one real root. And if delta is greater than 0, we have two real roots. If we have a perfect square, these two real roots could be rational. If we do not have the perfect square, it will be irrational. But at the end, these are both two real roots. So to solve our question, I can say that easily. A is equal to coefficient of x squared, which is 1. B is equal to coefficient of x, which is -3. And C is 10. So delta will be b squared minus 4 times a times c, which will be -3 squared is 9, and 4 times 10, 40. But as you see here, it's -40, so it will be -31. So since -31 is less than 0, we have two complex roots. That's it. Imagine if the result is positive 31, we should say that we have two real roots. Just write two real roots. Okay, let's go on. Other question. Find the x, find the solution by using factorization. So we know that whenever we have this form, which is the form is x squared plus bx plus c equals 0, coefficient of x squared is 1, we are finding two numbers in our mind like m times n, which is equal to c, and these two numbers must be m plus n, and then if these are satisfied, we say that x plus m times x plus n equals 0. So the first one is equal to 0, then x is equal to negative m, and x plus n is equal to 0, so x is equal to negative n. So negative m and negative n are the solutions. So to solve our question, if we think two numbers, their product is 12 and their sum is negative 1, how could it be? So if we have, so it seems a little bit difficult, probably there's a problem in the question, we should say, yeah, negative 12. Otherwise there will be problems. So let's say the question is x squared minus x minus 12. And if I factorize this, it will be negative 4 times 3 and negative 4 plus 3, which is negative 1. So you know this is negative 1 always. So negative 4 times 3 is negative 12, which is here. So I can write that x minus 4 times x plus 3. So I just factorize this. Since it is equal to 0, x minus 4 is equal to 0. So x equals 4 and x plus 3 equals 0. So x equals negative 3. So the solutions, x is negative 3 and x is positive 4. If I want to write in the form of solution set, negative 3 comma 4 will be solution. I hope it's clear. Now the other question, use the quadratic formula to find the roots. So quadratic formula was this, delta is b squared minus 4ac, and the first root is equal to negative b minus root delta over 2 times a, and x2 is equal to negative b plus root delta over 2a. Or you can say x is equal to negative b plus minus root delta over 2a. So in my question, what will be a, b, and c? So easily I can say that a is equal to, before the x squared, which is 1, let's change this. This is 2. Okay, I hope it's clear. It is 2. And then b is before the x, which is 10, and c is without variable, which is negative 4. And then if I calculate the delta, b squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 4, so it will be 100 plus 4 and 2, 8, 8 and 4, 32, so which will be 132. Remember the previous question we did, since delta is greater than 0, there are two real roots, and a delta, it's not a perfect square, which means like 100, like 16, like 25, it's not. So the roots will be rational. So how can I find this root? The first root, or in general, I can write x is equal to negative b, which is negative 10, and plus minus root 132 times divided by 2 times 8, which is 2 times 2. So x equals negative 10 plus minus 132 divided by 4. This will be enough in the examinations, but also it could be if you express 132 in terms of the product of the numbers, which means what could it be? Just let me try 132 divided by 2. It will be 66. What do you think? Yeah, and divided by 2, 33, and then by 3, 11, and by 3, 1. So 132 is equal to 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times 11. It means that 132 will be root of this. So it will be 2 times 3 times 11, which is 33. So I can even write that x is equal to negative 10 plus minus 2 times root 33 divided by 4. And if I simplify this by 2, since I can take the two common parentheses, numerator and denominator, the final result will be, let me change the color, the final result will be negative 10 divided by 2, negative 5. And this will be directly the same. And then plus minus, I will have 33 divided by 2. Yeah, this will be the final result. Okay, let's go on. Use the perfect square to find the x. What was the perfect square for the solution? If I have x minus a square is equal to c, I say that x minus a is equal to plus minus root c. So when I look at my question, so coefficient of x is negative 6. If we divide this by 2, it will be negative 3. So we will try in our mind, is this my question could be written in this form? X squared minus 2 times x times 3, negative 6, plus 3 squared 9, so almost same, is equal to 5. And by using the rule, x minus 3 is equal to plus minus root 5. So x is equal to negative 3 will be other side, positive 3, and plus root 5, or x is equal to, so negative 3 when we put it there, positive 3, and we have negative root 5. So these are the solutions. So it's clear that 3 minus root 5 is less than 3 plus root 5. So if I want to write as a solution set, first I write the smallest number, and then I write the biggest number. I hope that's clear. If it's not satisfied directly, so we have to, add the half of the, first of all, we have to find the half of the coefficient of x and taking its power 2 and then adding the right and left side, and we are finding the question. But this question types directly comes out, so it's easy. Now find the average rate of change. So average rate of change means delta y over delta x, which means y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. By the way, what is y2? y2 means f at x2, and y1 means f at x1 divided by x2 minus x1. So in my question, this is now x1 and this is now x2. So on this interval, so what will be f of x1? F of x1 will be f of 2, which is in the function f of x. If I substitute 2 to the power of 2, 2 times 2 plus 4, it will be 4 minus 8 plus 4. I did a calculation mistake. 2 to the power of 2, 4. 2 times 2, negative 4. This is negative 4 plus 4, negative and positive 4, simplify just 4. And similarly, f of x2 is equal to f of 4. You know, x1 is the smallest one, x2 is the biggest one. f4 will be 4 squared minus 2 times 4 plus 4. It will be 16 minus 8 plus 4. So 16 minus 8 is 8. 8 plus 4, it will be 12. So we are ready now. So y2 minus y1, which is 12 minus 4 divided by x2 minus x1, 4 minus 2. So it will be 8 over 2, which will be 4. So this is the now change of the rate of the change for the given function on the interval. So this rate is positive. That means my function is increasing in this interval. Okay, so to solve this question, what can we do? So this is an interesting question. I mean, 2x squared is equal to negative 16, and then x squared is equal to negative 16 over 2, which is negative 8. So x squared is equal to negative 8 for real numbers, not possible for real numbers, not possible. I mean, there is no real solution. But since we are now grade 11 and we know the complex numbers, we can use this. What was the complex numbers? Whenever we have root negative 1, we call this I. So in my question, x squared is equal to negative 8 means x is equal to square root of negative 8, and this could be written as negative 1 times 8, and this negative 1 could be I. So x is equal to, by the way, plus minus, we have, do not forget this, plus minus I times root 8, and 8 could be written as 2 times 4, so root 8 will be, 4 will be outside 2 root 2, so we can say that x is equal to plus minus I times 2 root 2. If we arrange this, the first x is equal to negative 2i root 2, and the second x is positive 2i times root 2. So we have two complex solutions. Yeah, that's it. Good. And one more question. Find the intervals that roots of the function are between them. I mean, two consecutive integers. I mean, find two consecutive integers where the roots of the function are among them. So to find this question, the roots means where the function cut the x-axis. So it's clear that the function is cutting the x-axis at -7, at -6, at 10, and 11. So can you tell me that how many roots we have here? First of all, we have 4 roots. What are they? These are -7, -6, 10, and 11. So if I want to write two consecutive integers, I can say that it is between -7 is between -8 and -6, and -6 is between -7 and -5, and 10 is between 9 and 11, since I am looking at consecutive integers, and 11 is between 10 and 12. But to be honest, normally if I am a mathematics teacher, I prepare the question like this. Instead of -7 and -6, I can say that -7 and -4, this is better. And instead of 10 and 11, let me say 10 and 14. So I can solve the question right now better. So -7 is between -8 and -6. It's okay. And -4 right now is between -5 and -3. And 10 is between 9 and 11. That's okay. And 14 is equal to, 14 is between number 13 and number 15. I think that's the better, it's a better, to change the question in this way. Since we are looking at consecutive integers, you may confuse. Yeah, that's it. This is the answer of the question. Do we have any other? No. Okay, thank you guys. I hope you will get good results. All the best.